What up, what up, what up? It's your boy JB coming right back at you, man. Welcome back to the channel. Caitlin Clark needs to shoot more. Caitlin Clark needs to shoot more, man. I had a chance to watch that game last night between the Fever and the Aces. And, man, shout out to Caitlin Clark, top vote getter in the All-Star game, 700,000 votes. And A'ja Wilson, man, that game would have been completely different if Caitlin Clark shoots early and often. Now, I get it, man. They're keeping the ball in her hands, but I think she's being a little too unselfish because she's trying to get her teammates involved and that kind of thing. But they need to feed off of her getting hot versus her trying to get them involved, because I think these teams have figured out that she doesn't start shooting unless she drops a couple dimes and stuff like that first. But Aaliyah Boston and Alyssa Smith, they got to hit some of these shots, guys. Kelsey is balling, though. I mean, I like her game, but she's trying to get involved quick. Caitlin Clark needs to do the same. I mean, because when you're playing A'ja Wilson, Kelsey Plum, I mean, these guys came out, and the Fever kept it close, but Caitlin Clark has to start shooting earlier. I don't know how y'all feel about that, and I love to watch her game. I love to watch her drop dimes and that kind of thing. But Christie Sides got to get her involved shooting early. And everybody, half of that arena was there to see Caitlin Clark perform. And Caitlin Clark got to understand, when you're playing the defending champions, when you're playing a team like this, you got to be aggressive with your shooting. But Christie Sides also got to let her know to do that first. That you should have come out immediately, because I think now everybody's expecting her to pass first. And then they get down by 10 or 15 points, and now she got to shoot them back in. And I don't think that's her game per se. I think they got to start letting her shoot early and often. This girl is the lead vote getter for the WNBA All-Star team. She and Angel Reese are going to be playing on the same team. And again, I ain't going to do a separate video, but again, guys, 700,000 votes. It's because we want to see you score. Like, we love to see you pass, but we want to see you score. And Christie Sides has to do a better job of getting Caitlin Clark some shots immediately in this first quarter, man. Because if she can hold the defense accountable, make them honest, Aaliyah Boston is going to be wide open. Alyssa Smith is going to be wide open. They play better when they're wide open, because if they got to do any moves or anything like that, man, you're not seeing the performance like you want to see out of them. But Christie Sides is getting it again because of the way she's coaching this team, especially when they play the better teams. She's got to get Caitlin Clark involved, man. Everybody came there to see her. They moved the game to that arena so everybody can see her. And I think it's time to have a conversation with Caitlin Clark that she needs to be more unselfish in the beginning, open up the floor for everybody, then start dropping your dimes. Because when you play the Aces, there's no room for mistakes, okay? Clearly that team is better. I mean, Kelsey Plum drops 34, right? You know Caitlin Clark got to drop 30, 35. Somebody on your team, the only person you have with the potential that can do that, run her off of those screens, get her the ball, so that she can get off in that first quarter, in that second quarter, man. Because if she's not shooting, then she starts shooting, and then she got to get a couple shots up before she can get a rhythm. And she's so busy passing, which is the unselfish thing to do. But it's time for unselfish stuff to stop if they want to make the playoffs. Because I don't want them to get the 8 seed, and then you're playing Minnesota or somebody like that. You need to get to that, try to get to that 5 or 4 seed, so she can get through the first round and all that kind of stuff. But I'm tired of watching her try to get everybody else involved first. And guys, that sounds good. That sounds good on the surface. We all like unselfish players. She's an unselfish player. She's playing game the right way. But guess what, man? Phil Jackson always got Michael Jordan involved early, right? Aaliyah Boston, Alyssa Smith, Kelsey, all those guys, they know what their role is. This is Caitlin Clark's team. When you're playing these better teams, you got to get off early, because that'll get the crowd into it. She feeds off of that. And then you're going to start seeing more victories. So not only is this a Caitlin Clark problem, this is a Christie Sides problem. Recognize you got the best player in the WNBA playing on your team. Act like it. Get her involved up front, man, because otherwise you're playing from behind all the time. And these other teams like when Caitlin Clark is being unselfish, because I'll take my chances with Alyssa Smith and Aaliyah Boston beating me. I'll take that chance all day. But they know they can't beat. If Caitlin Clark is ripping off 20, 30 points and then can start getting some of those assists later on in the game, get her off first, man. Let her see that ball go through the basket. Run some plays for her to get her involved so she's just not solely a passer. Because otherwise, the same thing gonna keep happening. When I saw them get down by 10 last night, I'm like, okay, you can't keep playing from behind all the time. Y'all get down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think, man. Does Caitlin Clark need to shoot more earlier and shoot more often? Or does she need to keep trying to get everybody else involved and then try to find her shot later on? Y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Or does Christie Sides need to do something different? I'm tired of watching the same thing every game. It's time to get Caitlin Clark involved early, get her involved often. Get down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think, man. Is Jeff crazy or is Jeff on to something? If you hadn't already, mash that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for notifications. And until next time, we gon' holler.